There was an exchange, very spirited exchange in Minnesota over the weekend. We want to share, first of all, one of the ads that Senator McCain has been adding, which might have helped create a climate that existed in Minnesota. So let's take a look at the ad first and then what was going on when the senator had a town hall meeting.
Obama's blind ambition. When convenient, he worked with terrorist Bill Ayers. When discovered, he lied. Obama. Blind ambition, bad judgment.
We're scared. We're scared of an Obama presidency, and I'll tell you why. I'm concerned about someone that cohorts with domestic terrorists such as Ayers.
Thank you. First of all, I want to be president of the United States, and obviously I do not want Senator Obama to be. But I have to tell you, he is a decent person and a person that you do not have to be scared as president of the United States. Now, look, if I didn't think I wouldn't be one heck of a lot better president, I wouldn't be running, okay?
I got to ask you a question. I can't trust Obama. I have read about him, and he's an Arab. He is not. No, ma'am. He's a decent family man, citizen that I just happen to have disagreements with on fundamental issues, and that's what this campaign is all about. He's not. Thank you.
And the reaction of Senator Obama to the defense that he received from Senator McCain was this in Philadelphia on Saturday.
I want to acknowledge that Senator McCain tried to tone down the rhetoric in his town hall meeting yesterday. I appreciated his reminder that we can disagree while still being respectful of each other.
Congressman Portman, has this gone too far in terms of the attacks on Senator Obama and his association with Bill Ayers in Chicago? Governor Palin has gone so far as to say he's palling around with the terrorists. Is that a really fair characterization in your judgment?
Well, I think what they've focused on is two things. One is Senator Obama's judgment, and second is his truthfulness. I saw yesterday there have been 9 different explanations about his relationship with Bill Ayers and when he met him and who he thought he was and so on. So that's the issue, is his judgment and his truthfulness. In terms of this campaign, as we get toward the last few weeks here, it's heated up. There's no question on both sides. And Senator Obama's rallies are, he also inspires the crowd, and they can get pretty rowdy as well. Having viewed a few of those rallies, having been at some of the McCain rallies, they are inspiring people, to support their policies and their approach. That's what rallies are all about. They cannot control every single individual in that rally and what that person might say. But no, I think if you look at these campaigns... You're comfortable with ads. You don't think they're too negative? Well, you look at the negative ads. Senator Obama has run more negative ads in this campaign than any presidential campaign in history, easily, and far more negative ads than Senator McCain has run, and including ads that directly take on Senator McCain on things like stem cell research in a dishonest way, Social Security, immigration, that are, by independent fact checkers have been found to be absolutely false. So, Tom, it's going on the ads and the TV wars on the Obama side. And it turns out that on the other side, there are some real issues as well. Congressman John Lewis got a lot of attention over the weekend as the Atlanta congressman who is a veteran of the civil rights movement when he said, Senator McCain and Governor Palin are sowing the seeds of hatred and division. During another period in the not-too-distant past, there was a governor of the state of Alabama named George Wallace who also became a presidential candidate. George Wallace never threw a bomb, he never fired a gun, but he created the climate and the conditions that encouraged vicious attacks against innocent Americans who were simply trying to exercise their constitutional rights. They are playing a very dangerous game that disregards the value of the political process and cheapens our entire democracy. Not surprisingly, there was a quick response from the McCain campaign saying Congressman John Lewis's comments represent a character attack against Governor Sarah Palin and me that is shocking and beyond the pale. The notion that legitimate criticism of Senator Obama's record and positions could be compared to Governor George Wallace, his segregationist policies, and the violence he provoked is unacceptable and has no place in this campaign. And to that, Senator Obama
said he does not believe that John McCain or his policy criticism is in any way comparable to George Wallace or his segregationist policies. But John Lewis, he said, was right to condemn some of the hateful rhetoric that John McCain himself has personally rebuked just last night, and so on and so on. Let me ask you both a simple question. In Minnesota, the Senator, Norm Coleman, the Republican candidate for re-election, has stopped all negative advertising. Would that be a good idea for the presidential campaigns in the midst of this financial crisis when the country is so focused on their future?
Tom, first of all, I think that actually is a good idea. I think the first ad you showed, which has lie on it, printed several times, is inflammatory by anybody's stretch of imagination. I'm not going to say everybody's innocent. I think John Lewis is one of the most remarkable men in American history, but, I would not want to include this in the debate today, since
you think he was inappropriate in comparing him to George Wallace?
I just think it is playing into what I think is the strategy that is going on here about this whole heirs issue and everything else. We want to turn the page on economics because it's not working in the debate for Senator McCain and get on to something else. It's a distraction away from the most fundamental debate that we ought to be having in this country, is how are we going to put people to work? How are we going to keep people in their homes? How are we going to raise the income of the middle class in this country? These are the things that people are worried about in their lives, and this is a complete distraction. And by the way, the facts, somebody sits on a board where somebody else is on the board. By the way, it's Walter Annenberg's board on school reform, and he picked Mr. Ayers, not Barack Obama. They happen to be on the same board. So that's the classic guilt by association. It's really
what about John Lewis and guilt by association, linking him with George Wallace?
As I said, I would prefer that we stay talking about what we talked about in the first part of this discussion today. We've got people that have seen the cost per person go up of the loss of their equity values almost $30,000. I mean, this is a huge, huge problem that ought to be the centerpiece, not something that we've turned the page on and we're going to walk away from. We need steady, thoughtful, careful analysis and presentation of policy so we can make a decision.
Final word from Congressman Portman.
Well, no, I agree with John on the fact that the economy is the key issue, and I totally disagree with him that anybody's turning the page in the McCain campaign. You saw this in the debate the other night, Tom, where you were there. Senator McCain focused entirely on struggling families in America and the needs they have in terms of health care, paying their mortgages, staying in their homes at all, their education costs for their kids, and keeping a job. And this is what John McCain's going to keep talking about. He's focused on the economy, how to get us out of the ditch that we're in, and he's got new, innovative policies to do it, and it includes not taxing small businesses, which are the generators of new jobs in this economy, going to help us get out of that ditch, but helping them. It includes not raising taxes on capital gains, on dividend income as the market's going down. It includes pro-growth, pro-jobs policies that people are hungering for, and that's going to be his focus, and that is his attention.